Calgary Community Development Corporation, and we're trying to show you how to use our vegetables. So I'm here with Nurse Jenny from All Saints Ascension, and we have some great stuff we got from our farm that's out back behind this facility. We've got these beautiful, beautiful Carolina Gold tomatoes, some New Girl, a red tomato, peppers. These are an intruder variety. They're very firm, very nice variety. And then a Japanese pepper here. Those are really tasty. Some summer squash, some goldie squash. The goldie squash is very much like a zucchini, only yellow. And then these were really neat. This is called a bocce zucchini. It's confused a lot of people at the markets, but it works just like a zucchini. Can be really interesting. Nurse Jenny's going to show you how to make some great healthy food with this, with very little prep time, really easy to do, so that you can use these vegetables and improve your health outcomes, and that we can continue being a blessing to the community. So I'm going to turn it over to Nurse Jenny. Have fun.
Okay, thank you, Pastor Dan. There wasn't much prep involved. You just cut up. The nice thing about the yellow tomatoes is they aren't real juicy, so they're not going to give off as much water. And we're going to make personal pizzas with veggies and cheese. So I've got a lot of different kinds of ideas for how you can do crusts. And after this, I'm going to tell you some other things that you can do with the exact same ingredients, because that's what you want to be able to do it easy. And this is also something that can be really fun for kids to help with. We do this at our camp in the summer because we have beautiful naan bread that you can buy at the grocery store. You can buy any kind of flat bread. I have bread that's been sitting in the fridge that looks like this, that I sliced in half because not to waste it. I would prefer whole grain bread, but since we had this, we're going to make some crostinis with that. And these are regular old English muffins. They're whole grain, the ones that come buy one, get one free this week at the grocery store. And that way, people in your family can actually they can design their own pizza. If somebody really likes more tomato and they don't want peppers, they can cut stuff up a little smaller with the simple scissors. But we don't need sauce out of a jar because we have the stuff that actually goes into making sauce. We have the tomatoes. We have fresh basil that is just, it's not only aromatic, but this is what really makes a pizza taste like Italian food. If you buy fresh basil at the store, take the leaves off gently because it bruises really easily. It's very tender. And the spices I have is I just have extra virgin olive oil. I have some nice ground salt and garlic, which is garlic. And then when I get done, I love putting a little balsamic glaze on mine. This is a simple way for whoever has, a little bit of a palate for wanting something better. You can drizzle a little balsamic vinegar glaze on your pizza. So all of them are going to start the same way. I'm just going to take a little bit of olive oil. If you didn't have olive oil, which sometimes you don't, use vegetable oil. Just give something to just give the crust a little bit of drizzle, a little bit on. You could brush butter on if you wanted. This is just going to give it a little bit of depth of flavor. It's going to wet the crust a little bit. And my hands are clean. Don't ever hesitate. Two things: touch your food and taste stuff while you're going. Be tasting your peppers. And now that I do that, I'm going to put my tomatoes on. Because usually when you make a pizza, you would use sauce. And like I said, we don't need sauce. We have tomatoes. I'm going to use different colors. This is where your kids could have fun. And you're going to see how fast you can make something good. You can put alternate colors. These are so gorgeous. I'm going to put some over here. The tomatoes, one thing about the tomatoes is that they have more than 100%, up to 100, according to the size, 138% of your daily vitamin C. That's better than an orange. And they have lycopene, which is not only good for heart health, but it's really good for antioxidants and fighting cancer. As are all these, by the way. Every single one of these, the peppers are high in vitamin C. So if you're a person who doesn't eat a lot of citrus fruits, here's a way you can remedy that. They're also, because they're fresh vegetables, they're all full of fiber. So you get fiber, and that's the difference between getting the sauce out of the can and using these things. And I'm going to use a little bit of our yellow squash and then some basil. We're going to be ready to spice it, put some cheese on, and throw it in the oven. But like I said, all of these vegetables see all the different colors of things that we have. Put on some onions. Onions are also full of antioxidants for fighting cancer. They're inexpensive. You can grow several seasons of onions, but you can buy a bag of onions at the store for $2 and they'll last you quite a while. And even I think the kids in camp really seem to like cooked onions fine. So I'm going to put some peppers on. Now, if you want to cut up your peppers, when kids do theirs, they might want to cut them up and chop them a little more. And at home I have one of my scissors that's designated just to the kitchen. You can cut it up like that. I actually like the peppers in pieces because if you have somebody who tries the peppers and they don't like them, they can take them off easier and someone else can eat them because they're in whole pieces. So we're just going to put some peppers on. If you had little kids doing these, you can make faces and different kinds of designs. You could make a sunshine. They can actually take the vegetables and make a design on their food. And I think anytime that kids help make their food, they're more likely to eat it, just like if they shop with you. If they go to the store and they get to see the pretty pomegranates or they pick a tomato themselves and it's their own, they're much more likely to eat it. And if you had other vegetables in your fridge, like celery and carrots and things, you can toss in whatever vegetables you want. Okay, now we're going to, the all-important ingredient, we're going to put some basil leaves on because that's going to make them smell good. And then we're going to put cheese on the top. And if kids are trying stuff, one of my recommendations is do half. You know, if they really just want a cheese pizza, let them have half where they do that and have them try something on the other side. Because that way they get to try it. They might think, oh, well, this looks like spinach and I don't like spinach, and maybe they don't. And the other thing you can do is put all this stuff when you're done and your veggies are starting to sit around in your fridge, just throw it all in a blender or a food processor. And then you will have your own homemade sauce. And you will have made it fresh. So I'm almost over to the English muffins and then we're going to put the cheese on. And varying your kinds of cheeses can make things taste different. I like sharper Parmesan, and a lot of kids like the more melty mozzarella and Italian cheeses. So if you can get a bag of each, the bags are usually about $2 a piece at Pick and Save. And you can have kids even pick out their own cheeses because they might learn that they like certain tastes. A lot of people think of cheese and they just think cheese is like, you know, Velveeta. So this way you can taste different kinds. So now I'm going to put a little bit of this, and this is from, I think this is from Trader Joe's. It's just, I like grinding it because then not only do you smell it while you're doing it, they have these at the dollar store. If you have high blood pressure, buy the kind without salt in, if you're supposed to watch your salt. Because with all these spices, you won't need salt. Salt does bring out the flavor a little bit. Okay, last thing is to put some cheese on. And then I'm going to, before we wait for these to bake, I'm going to tell about some variations of things that you could do if you didn't want to do the flatbreads. Because the nice thing about having vegetables is once you realize how many different things you can do with them, you start to get creative. Your kids get creative, you get creative. Let's say you wanted to do something because you had some pasta to use. You maybe made pasta and had leftovers, or your family loves noodles. First of all, they aren't going to notice if you get whole grain once you cook them. So if you can, buy the whole grain ones. And then take these veggies, saute them in a skillet with a little olive oil and these spices, and mix them in with your pasta. And it can be hot or cold. Same thing as if your kids like Mexican food, put them in a tortilla, and you can saute the vegetables, same veggies, put them in a tortilla, add a little cheese if you want, and then you have a wrap. If your kids are in a mood and they want to make some stir fry, same thing, saute it in the pan, but change up to soy sauce and brown rice that you can make minute rice in the microwave. You don't have to have a lot of prep time, it doesn't have to be hard, and that way your kids can take the same vegetables or your family and make different things. And last but not least, one of my favorite things is eggs because they're full of protein, they're inexpensive, and you can saute saute the vegetables and put eggs in and make an omelet, and put a little salsa on the side that you could have made homemade with this too, and you can enjoy it that way. So the next part is the best. We're going to bake them. Put them in. This only takes about 15 minutes. And now we're ready to wait. All right, so the fun part is when you get to take it out, and it's been in 425 degree oven, and that helps everything get crispy. And you kind of want to wait until the cheese gets a little bit brown on the top, unless you like it different. That's the joy too, is you can make it how you like it. So here's our English muffins, and here's the leftover bread I was trying to get rid of out of the fridge. And now we're ready to take out the beautiful, just take a look at that. Just beautiful. The basil is kind of crusted up a little. It's got lots of cheese on it. So this one has some cooling to do. And then the only part left is to serve them to people to eat. These are such a nice size for giving people a couple of their own. And I would say that 2 of these is like a serving. Unless it's all you're eating for the meal, and then maybe 3. And we haven't talked a lot about, this is a lot of fruits and vegetables and healthy, these are healthy grains here, the whole grain. And you see I like to eat while I'm cooking. Ways to add in protein that is really good and easy is inexpensive cans of black beans, garbanzo beans, which are chickpeas. And again, all the recipes I talked about, if you're going like the Italian way and you're making some noodle tosses, get a can of 69-cent cannellini beans with no salt, drain them off, throw that in, and then you have your protein. Cut up hard-boiled eggs, you know, and stuff. Making an omelet. If you're doing the Mexican, you can do the black beans. And you can get them spiced or unspiced, and then just switch your spices. But all these things lend to all kinds of different recipes using the vegetables. And don't be afraid to have an omelet with veggies tossed, you know, sauteed veggies with an omelet for dinner with some good cheese on top of it, and a little salsa that you can make from the tomatoes on the side. So the last thing to do is to enjoy. Thank you.